G'day and welcome back to my channel. Now, here's a very interesting kit from FineMolds. It's a Savoia S.21F Folgore, right? Folgore. Look, I call it the pig plane. And if you've seen Porco Rosso, there's a little pig, right? Don't own the rights to this pet, but this is the plane from the movie, so it is appropriate and we're allowed to show it. If you've seen the movie Porco Rosso, there's a pig in it and he flies the plane. It's too hard to explain. It's really good. It's very weird. It's very wonderful. It's Japanese Imagineering in Italian seaplanes shot in the middle. Well, it's cartoon. It's anime. It's anime, right? It's very well done anime. And it's all done basically just after World War I think. And yeah, seaplanes. Anyhow, cut a long story short, what happens is you build the kit and you get one of these. What do you think of that? Well, it's very wobbly. It's a seaplane. It's very wobbly. And inside there, very carefully, in there is a pig. Can you see him? Can you see him with my wobbly hands? I'll hold that one straight. There's a pig in there. Oh, there's no way. This is the thing. You guys think, I'm real steady with the modelling? No, that's what happens. It's an afternoon like today where it's hot. That's what happens. I end up with a tremor and a wobble. Yeah, there's a pig in there. All right. So what I might do is we'll go to some photos and then I can show you what this kit is all about. The sprues are all clean. There's no flash at all. In fact, it's a really nicely moulded kit, which belies the fact that it's sort of almost aimed at children. It's not really. This is an adult's movie and it's best to watch it while you're building the kit for inspiration. But this is a lovely kit of high quality and a great build. Now, normally I get the instructions out and we go through them. Well, that'd be fine if I could read this stuff. I mean, it's fine if you're Japanese. You could read all that, but there's nothing. The only thing in English is basically the name. Folgore. That's it. I mean, as you go through the instructions, it's still all in Japanese character set. There's nothing there. There's some indication there about the different motors that, because basically the pig went through a few different motors. There's photos of photo drawings of the plane that it's based on because it's a special. But you can follow the instructions if you're going to build this. And by the way, this is the 172nd version. I've also got the 148, 172nd version. Look, despite the fact that nothing has got anything that you can follow, the part numbers are clearly marked, so you can find them. I think there is a sprue map. Am I a liar? Am I a liar? Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm trying to remember. Maybe not. Okay. Don't think there is. All right. Forget that. No, there's no bloody sprue map. But I know it wasn't that hard. There's not a lot of parts in this, as you saw from the sprues. So you can basically follow along. It's a pretty basic construction. I made notes as I went, referencing off the pictures I could find from the stills out of the anime movie, and then I worked out what colour I was going to paint things, and I'll show you all that shortly. I'll show you the whole construction, but it's really not that complicated to build. It's pretty easy to put together. There's indications of where to put decals, and which I didn't bother using. I'll explain more of that shortly. And it all goes together very well, and of course they indicate that you should basically get your insignia on the wings before you put it together and do your floats up, which I did. It's basically like with most biplanes, you build up most of the stuff before you assemble. It's the safest way to do it. And then there's the motor assembly. Now, for this particular version, they wanted to use this motor, but I didn't. I used the other motor because I thought it was prettier, and I was referencing the photos. There's all the instructions to do the pig and also to do little Theo. She's in there in a sitting position, but also, of course, as I showed you, you get Theo standing up. Okay, so she's quite nice. She's quite nicely moulded. She's quite lovely. So there she is. So I could put her on a stand. I haven't done that yet. I haven't sort of bothered about that. I'm just happy with what I've done, which I'm going to show you very shortly. So yep, all the little panels. Actually, I think I left my panels so they could pop out. I was able to sort of do that, or I think I eventually made that little panel sit down. But you've got the options of panels open for inspection, or you've got the little panel, the little dicky seat here thing, flipped open with a clear part, so you can put Theo in because she rides in the front there. So it's not a hard kit to build. You get the optional little carriage here, a little roller carriage, which I did build. I built that up, and that's handy for while you're painting it and doing things with it and mucking around with it. It's a nice little build in itself. I haven't bothered doing any more with that because I actually went with the other option, and the other option is you've got this great big stand that you can use. It's got a very sort of you know, mechanical sort of industrial workshop thing. More of that shortly, and I'll show you what is there. And there's your little paint guide for Theo. There she is, lovely little thing that she is. Oh, is that what that bit is? Yeah, there's an extra little bit on here with Theo, and I wasn't quite sure what it was. A little bit there. It's her ponytail. There you go. It's Theo's ponytail. There you go. I might paint her up one day. Put her on the stand, sit her in front of the little pig plane. So there you go. Yes. So you get a painting guide, and again, there's nothing in English anywhere. So I've had to go through and work everything out. But luckily, it being anime, colours are pretty well blocked. It was fairly easy for me to figure out what went where. Now, I did use the, as I'm going to show you shortly, I did use the decals on the underside of the wings. But really, they're not much cop. And when it came to the tail here, I gave up. I think I tore it. I went, I'll stuff that. It was actually a lot easier to mask and paint them. It really was. And the same, I'll show you later on down here too. They have decals that go. Where are they? Here they are. Right, you've actually got decals there which will do the underside and allow you to do the floats, which means you could pretty well build this without painting it. You could just use the decals and put it together, and you know, you'd have a fun little model. But I decided no, I'm going to paint it all, so I painted everything except for the underside of the wings. And if I had my way again, I wouldn't have done that. I would have basically painted those stripes on. They're not hard at all. So that's that, and then you're back to the beginning. That's it. It's just a little foldy concertina, little instructions. And it's not that hard to build, and it comes up beautifully. Fit was fairly good. I don't think I hardly used any filler on the damn thing. It was just a fun little afternoon thing, started putting it together, and then I had a lot of fun basically weathering, washing and painting it. So let's get on with that. I'll show you my construction, and then we'll have a closer look at the final result. The construction started with the fuselage, as is quite normal for aircraft. So I painted up all the interior parts, and I did that lovely little dash, and you know, it went together really well. I was quite surprised with the fit. It's very clean. Hardly used any filler on this at all, except for the roots around the supports there for the wing, and a little bit across the top of the rear of the fuselage. But it was lovely. Went together in an afternoon. It was a fun little kit to sort of assemble, and then it was on basically with the painting. Now, I decided not to use the decals, and I instead sprayed the bottom of the floats and the fuselage with Tamiya Tan. And there's Porco sitting there. He also got some Tamiya Tan ready. But then it was basically on with the red. Now, although the kit came in a lovely red, I wanted to put that lovely fiery Italian red on. And I had that. TS8 is a terrific colour if you want the Italian red. And it is so glossy. It is so beautiful. Look at it. It just bounces out at you. It is delicious. It is a lovely colour, that one. Really good. Anyhow, on with working on the pig, and a bit of inspiration there again from watching the movie and getting out my lovely little brushes. As you can see, that pig is so small. This was a challenge for me because little things are just so hard for me to paint. But with a bit of luck, I managed to get a couple of strokes on, and I got the mustache and the eyebrows of that pig, and there he is. He's in the plane. I'm so pleased with him. He looks terrific. I'm not a figure painter, but I was so happy I managed to get some details done on that little pig. I can tell you, it really chortled me. Anyhow, on with painting the other little details and engine grills, this and that. Lots of little things to do. And the stripes underneath the wings, yes, I did those using the decals. But later on I thought, gee, not such a good idea. I mixed up my own green and I used my own white. And so when I did the tail fin, I did that painting and masking. Much better idea, and I would never ever use the decals again under the wing. The kit looked really good, but I hit some of the areas with some finish so that everything was glossy and I could wash on later. More of that later. I decided to do something tricky with the stand. And the stand, I painted up a whole lot of weird colours, hairsprayed it, then I sprayed it in metallic Amamig there, and then I got out and chipped it all down for a really sort of worn out workshop sort of look. And that really suited my needs. There it is, even with some rust over the top of it. I thought that is going to look fantastic with this aircraft. So there's my take on this little Savoia pig plane. It's a lovely little kit. It really is. It was quite a joy to build. I really enjoyed it. It's only tiny. I've got the bigger one, which has got a much more comprehensive interior. But this was just a weekend build, and then I just spent a bit of time on it every now and then. being sort of cartoon or anime, you really didn't do a lot of chipping or anything. You just sort of, you could make it really realistic if you want to. But I left it sort of looking more like it was in the cartoon. I like that look. So there you go. And I had so much fun painting my pig. I was amazed. That had to be just the right morning and cool enough, and I set everything up, and it was like 2 strokes. Can I paint his mustache? Chunk, chunk, got it. And that was using my lovely new SMS brushes, which, tell you what, they make me into a better painter. They are so nice. They flow so well. Well, the paint flows off them. They're just so nice to use. And they're good to grip because they're tri-handle. See, I've got the one here that I use, little 510. Here it is. Tiny little 510. So the point on that is minute. Right? Absolutely minute. Up that way. Get the advertising right. Oh, bumping everything. SMS. Yes. Was it Scale Model Supplies or something, I think? Yeah. They know who they are. It's scalemodeler.com.au. Plug, plug, plug. Love your products, mate. Send me more. Actually, he's never sent me any. I've bought them all myself because they're not expensive. And yeah, I like the tri-handle on this thing. And that's all of the brushes that I've had have really helped me paint the pig, amongst other things. What can you see in there? Can you see? You see inside there, I actually painted. Well, I think there's a decal for the instruments. Can't remember, but I know I painted all that up. Yeah, it's probably a decal. I know I did a lot of work on this. There's a lot of fine details. And then I took it to club. I thought everyone's going to love this. It's going to be so much fun. Even the guys there that sort of don't like my weird stuff, they'll really like it. And I took it to the club and I put it on the table. And another guy brought in the 148 version. And his was painted up a lot nicer than mine. He'd really gone to the trouble of weathering it and washing it, doing a whole lot of stuff. So my poor little 1/72 scale, Savoia with the pig kind of got overlooked. He didn't even have pig in his, but nobody seemed to notice that I'd actually gone all the trouble to make the tiny little pig. And a lot of them didn't even know what the hell it was all about. That's the thing. If you don't know this, if you don't know the anime. But there you go. If you have watched Porco Rosso, you know what this is all about. If you haven't seen Porco Rosso, go and rent it. Go and rent it or get the DVD or something. I don't know. I think it might even be on one of the streaming channels. It is a hoot. If you like World War I aircraft, it's really good. There's a lot of really great stuff in it. If you just like anime, it's really good. If you just want to have a good time and cheer yourself up and also babysit the kids at the same time, watch it. Yes, Porco Rosso, a lot of fun. And the Savoia from FineMolds is a really nice, relaxing, fun, enjoyable kit to build. Highly recommend it. And I'll do the 148 one day, and we'll probably do a whole build series on that because there's a lot more to it. So there you go. All right. Well, that's everything I've got to say about this. We'll go out of this with a montage of photos just to show you a bit clearer and in detail what's going on with this build. But that's all I've got to say. So it's goodbye from Australia, and it's hooroo from Harry Houdini.